Hey guys, Infidel1258 here. Today I want to share with you a clip from a recent live event where myself, Crypto Llama, and Jim Morgan discuss DEC value, its price appreciation in the short term, and card prices over the next 6 months to 1 year. The two topics are intertwined, and we discuss it here in this video. This is a clip from recent live, so if you want to see these things, be there on Thursday nights. Have an amazing day. God bless. Something I've been noticing just last night, actually, for the first time ever. So I always use peak monsters, and you guys might think this is cool. So I use peak monsters, obviously, to look for my best deals. And also, I think there's an interesting argument to be had that there might be an opportunity for starting to look at flipping monsters in the near future. And let's go to grid for a second here. And usually what that entails is like looking at the rares. Usually I think rares, sometimes epics, occasionally legendary, but I find it's usually like the lower tier rarities. And then you'll find like a card. Actually, let's look at comments. Yesterday I saw an amazing one that was like, what was it? It was green and there was a level 2, it was a Rexy. I wonder if it's still there. So yeah, there's this Rexy here with 321 BCX and 344 BCX, and they're roughly 29 cents and 39 cents respectively. But then there was a 172, which is a level 8. That was even cheaper. It was like 28 cents or something. So one of those, like, I feel like there's some opportunities coming because I think there's been more stability in the prices over the last few weeks than we used to see over the last months where, it was such a yo-yo. But I think there might be an interesting play in the next 6 months or a year where you can start to see deals where this is a bit of a floor. And if something comes in that's even cheaper and it has fewer BCX, that can be more marketable, not less. And then I found if it was 28 cents, I thought I could probably relist it for 50, and be in between here, and have a decent chance of selling. And that's like a 40, like, what is that? Like from 30 cents to 50 cents is like almost double, I guess, is the easiest way I can say it math-wise without a calculator.
It's like 60% increase.
Yeah.
Right?
So, I mean, I think those opportunities are coming. And when I was talking to my buddy last night about that, before we move on, because there's something else I want to say, but before we move on, what do you guys think about that suggestion that I just made, which is that I think we might be entering more of a stable card price. I think there's lots of reasons why you might say we're not. Like you could come to me and talk about, probably 5 or 6 different things that might see card prices spike, like land, for instance, coming out soon, and all the farming that's going to need for the cards. But I'm starting to feel like maybe prices are going to be stable here for a bit. Maybe I'll start with you, Llama, and then Jim, get your thoughts on that. What do you think about card prices in like the 6 month to like a year window here?
Okay, so my thoughts on this is to purchase if you're looking at purchasing cards, purchase the DEC now. Purchase the DEC now. The reason why I say that is because in order for this entire system, this new SPS rewards to work, we need to see DEC back at its 1 USD peg, right? As Matt said, the stable peg is extremely important to the entire ecosystem of Splinterlands. And it doesn't need to be quite like USDT or USDC stable, but way closer than it is now. And so if we're purchasing the DEC now, to peg right now, we're looking at like a 40% increase on the value of DEC.
Yeah.
From now until peg. Now, if we were purchasing cards right now, then, and I don't mind because I'm only putting money into DEC when I'm looking to purchase cards. But if you're using DEC that you already have in your account right now to purchase Splinterlands cards, then you're essentially missing out on a 40% increase. The card price is going to stay relative anyway within the next few months.
Yeah.
But your DEC is not. So that should be increasing from August to September. We should be seeing, around about a 40% increase on DEC.
You think that's soon?
So yeah, because that's when they plan to enter the SPS reward system. And for that to happen, we kind of need that DEC closer to its peg.
Mhm.
So you're making, within a space of 2 months, you're most likely, and not financial advice, of course,
Yeah.
but within that 2 months, you're making, 40% increase on your DEC. Then you're purchasing cards. You're getting a lot more value for that DEC that you're using,
Yeah.
as opposed to purchasing them right now, or just let it sit there. And why not? Not only are you getting that 40%, but we've still got some days left on the airdrop period as well. So that has to be taken into consideration.
That's right.
too.
Yeah. There's still 12 days left.
So you're getting 12 days of SPS airdrop, and then you're getting the difference from now until September, or once this new system comes in, where DEC's moving towards PEG. This could be maybe 40 to 45% profit over that time, and then purchasing the cards. So you're making more money. You're getting that arbitrage opportunity, plus the airdrop, plus perhaps a decrease in price of cards from, if you're looking at Chaos Legion, once more cards are going into circulation over that time too. And then you're getting a number of different opportunities there rolled into one.
Yeah, that's interesting. So just kind of looking at it from the perspective of the intent to really undergird DEC and what they've the plan they've laid out there to try and bring it back to PEG. And I think you're probably on. That's true. I think that plan is going to be successful. And maybe we could spend more time talking about why, but if it is successful, you're moving like 1 million DEC is about $570 right now. And just moving back to PEG would mean it's a $430 increase in your investment. And then in your purchasing power, forget about it's not exactly I don't like that word investment with respect to DEC, because it's not shouldn't be going exponential at any point. So I don't think of it like that.
It's not though, but still it's still realistically it's still a short-term investment. And this is why I think this is going to have another unassuming effect, in that the big Chaos Legion pump that after the airdrop ends that we're all expecting may not happen as largely as we envisage, because now in my mind the smart thing to do would be to hold on to your DEC until it gets closer to PEG value. And they're going to completely stop minting DEC. And what happens when something becomes more scarce?
Totally.
Obviously the value increases. And the only way that DEC is ever going to be minted moving forward is from card burning. Which will make it far more stable, because
or SPS burning.
There won't be any. What's that? Sorry.
Or SPS burning.
Yeah, correct. Yes. But they're not going to be minting. There's not going to be minting pressure on DEC. And what's the point in exchanging a DEC for Chaos Legion when the team's entire mission at the moment is to bring DEC back to its PEG? Well,
that's an interesting conversation. I'd love to comment there, but Jim, I'd like to get you in here. What do you think about card prices in the next 6 months to a year, and then also about the DEC, and how that relates to maybe the conversation of whether you would even want to touch cards at this moment?
Yeah, I mean, what he was just talking about, and we talked about this on Tuesday, I believe, is if you buy DEC straight up right now and you put it into packs, you are getting a huge deal on it, right? You're getting 60% off or something or 40% off, something like that.
Yeah.
And so as soon as they make it to where DEC is pretty much going to be a lot harder to get, people will then start seeing oh, all right, well, we're going to be able to get 40% off. All right, well, eventually it's going to turn into 35% off on these packs, and then 30%, and then 20%, and so on and so forth, until it gets closer to its pegged value. Because, well, if they're able to use dark energy crystals for it, they're better off doing that than just buying the credits, because you're getting more packs overall.
Yeah.
When it comes to cards, I don't really know what I'd say about card prices stabilizing. I could definitely see it. I could also see it going further down.
Yeah. Me too.
I do think once they cut the supply of DEC by a whole lot, I can definitely see that going back up to pegged. And if there's for any reason that you're able to get DEC above pegged value, well, then all you have to do is start burning SPS to get a better value for it.
That's right. Which should for anybody who's listening and hasn't heard about that yet, is going to mean that would be a natural anchor to really hold it at $1. Because if DEC goes to, for instance, $2 per 1,000, which is crazy. At this point, I think that's crazy. If it did that somehow, just people would burn their SPS to essentially double their, because $1 of SPS would equate to 1,000 DEC. And if somehow 1,000 DEC equals $2, then you're going to burn SPS all day long to double your money. And so that's really going to hold us at $1. But then I do think Llama's right about the pressures that are going to be here when you just cut off the faucet for DEC and you say, okay, now we're literally, the only way to get it is to burn your cards, which almost no one does, or to burn the SPS, which no one will do while DEC is this low, right? Like there's no reason to take 1,000 DEC right now for $1 worth of SPS. That's just, it doesn't jive because the DEC is not worth $1 at this juncture. And so it really does seem really, I think as far as I can tell, it seems really brilliant, and I think it's going to work. And so I do follow you, Llama, and I think I agree with what you're saying, but I would disagree with the part about how you said, so I mean, why would you buy Chaos Legion packs now? Because I do think there's a unique opportunity still that maybe, you would agree exists. Like you can get the voucher discounts through purchasing Splinterlands through Splinterlands. You can get the affiliate bonus by buying with one of your alt accounts. You can get bulk buy bonuses by buying it in large sum. And then you're going to get 5 more legendary airdrop summoners potentially. And so if you've got 2, 3, 5 million DEC, which is frankly not that much money if you're serious in crypto. I mean, I'm sitting on almost 3 million DEC. I think that's going to be probably enough to get you 1 airdrop of every remaining legendary summoner, and like you said, 12 days more of SPS airdrop, which by my calculations is a million airdrop points is roughly $33 by the end of the airdrop. So $570 worth of DEC today is going to get you $33 worth of SPS by the end of the airdrop, which is 12 days away, plus those 5 airdrops, plus those affiliate bonuses, plus those voucher discounts. And so I do think, and they're giving you peg value now. Like, so yeah, we could wait for DEC to go to peg later. And to your point, I think that's true. But interestingly, I think this is the same thing, isn't it? Or do you think I'm missing something there?
I just think that personally, I would be looking at gaining the opportunity of the 40% increase in DEC in the interim, and then purchasing singles to make it a rounded deck, as opposed to purchasing Chaos Legion cards. Luck of the draw, getting a bunch of cards which you most likely aren't going to be using or don't need, depending on what league you're in. Why not put that money to work properly and purchase the DEC now, wait for that peg to be reached, and then use that 40% increase that you've got to purchase cards which, and to the level of cards which you are going to need for your specific league. Instead of just purchasing Chaos Legion packs willy-nilly and just getting the luck of the draw. Yeah,
that's a fair point. I mean, there's a precision element to what you're saying. Correct, and you could shore up, like if you have certain holes in your deck, you could shore them up with various precision purchases. Whereas if you just throw 3 million DEC at Chaos Legion packs in the next 2 weeks to take advantage of the deal I talk about, maybe you're gonna get some great cards, and maybe you won't. You are gonna get 1 legendary summoner for every one of the remaining. That's pretty cool. But those are probably only $25 or $30 cards based on Wraith's current price point. And so, I think you're right. Like if you took 3 million DEC, which is 3 million DEC is roughly this much. 1710 US. If you took that and you just held it in DEC, which is 3 million DEC right now, and you did what you're saying, you're going to add 40% to your buying power. That's for and so you're going to turn essentially $1,700 worth of buying power into $2,400, and you can be precision with how you're executing those purchases, like you're saying. Interesting.
The other way I also see it is, I don't think that. So when we run out of Chaos Legion packs, right? I don't think their value is going to shoot up drastically. But I mean, they could easily go to like $12 to $16 range, and even at that point, we're looking at, if you buy them at the $4, right? You're looking at 3 or 4x. But if you're able to now buy them at a lot cheaper price, so if people are buying them right now for $2.20, and then getting bulk on top of that with vouchers, now we're looking at a 6 to 7x, and I think that could happen relatively quickly after they sell out.
Yeah, like the sales have been picking up. They're not fast, but like I'm saying, we had about 20 or maybe 25,000 sold yesterday, and we've had about 15,000 sold today. That's still a long way to the next million. But I mean, these bonuses are serious. Like if you this is a lot of packs, but if you were to buy 2,000 packs, then you're getting a 20% bonus with vouchers, which vouchers are free right now. Vouchers are like 30 cents each. So these are essentially 400 free packs available. Or if you can't do that, well, can you do 500 and get that 15% bonus, or even 100 and get that 10% bonus? So I do think this is a really cool opportunity, but I also really like precision purchases in the marketplace. And then if you had DEC, interestingly, you could really execute some like bid buys, which is always a good way to maximize your purchasing power, because you're going to get deals when you use that bid buy function.
Yeah. And it's like also the big factor of, do you want to be more of a player? Do you want to have a mix of investments in here, or do you just want to be like an investor?
William has a great comment here. He was talking about end of season rewards and how they just inundate the marketplace with huge opportunities to obtain cards. And he was saying that yesterday, or I guess the day before, whenever the season ended, that commons were selling at 1.6 times the burn value. I didn't know that.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And it's because of the bots, basically.
Yeah.
Their rewards are just pushing everything onto the market, because they're still profiting. They're still making thousands upon thousands of dollars, even with those prices.
Yeah.
So why not? But 100%. What a great opportunity that exists in the market.